Hello, this is Barry Wolfe with another episode of Wolfe Bites. I am really excited. All the guests I have are exciting, but this is a really great one. Really honored to have Rod Santomassimo, owner, founder, principal of the Massimo Group. And I'll be upfront with you guys. I'm a client of Rod's. I've worked with the Massimo Group for many years. I am also, maybe with the green screen it's not showing, but several of his books. I've got here Knowing Isn't Doing, Brokers Who Dominate, Teams Built to Dominate. So not only has he run the preeminent coaching program in the real estate field, he's also a phenomenal published author. Rod, great having you. Great being here today with you.
I always enjoy being with you, so I appreciate the time today. Thank you.
No, thank you. Well, so Rod, like I said, you run the preeminent coaching program for those in the real estate field, the real estate brokers field specifically. You've been involved in businesses for many, many years. We're in a tough period. I mean, let's just be honest with each other. We're in a tough time right now. The market, by the market, I mean just the economy is kind of shut down to a degree. So you work with a lot of real estate brokers, agents, teams. What are you advising folks right now? What's kind of the biggest piece of advice or couple pieces of advice you're giving to folks to get through this?
Well, Barry, great question. It really depends on where they are. Like everything, we break down to messaging, tell certain people to do. So when this hit, was it now 45, almost 60 days ago, there were a good number of brokers, not just our clients, but out in the marketplace, we saw it, that just panicked, pure, unadulterated panic, right? They're probably going to Costco. They're probably buying all the toilet paper they could and all the meats and cheeses, right? All the ammo, and they panicked. And they thought this was the end of the world, and they really stopped brokering. They stopped trying. And sadly, that was a good number. The message I tell them right now is find another career. That's ouch. But if they're going to panic about this and realize this is the third time it's happened in the last 20 years, if you think about it. So now, not the pandemic and the acuteness and the global horrible health issue we're having, but market downturn, it happens. So if you're panicked, all I share with you is go out and find another career, because commercial real estate is not someone for the faint of heart. It's just not, right? We're a commercial only business. The second type was the petrified. Not quite sure what to do now. The market velocity is halted, or initially it did. Now it's starting to come back, depending on your market.
Right.
It's starting to come back. So they're looking for certain things to do, and I'll share with you what I would tell them. And then those that have always been proactive, we're amazed at how much production, clients are having. We're really, I'm shocked. I meet with them every day now, and I ask them, okay, when a group call, give me some good news, and they all tell me the listings, the closings. I'm like, where's this coming from? Because you know what? They haven't stopped doing what they're always doing. They're consistently working and pounding the pavement and making the calls more than ever before, and they're adapting to where the market is. So back to your original question. What am I telling everyone right now? Drop your service provider hat. You're no longer in that business. We're not, right? We can't be, because service facilitation isn't really where we are right now. Mm-hmm. Everyone's looking for solutions. And that's kind of corny, I know, and jargon-based, but people providing solutions. Initially, it was all, what's your PPP? What's your emergency loan? What's your 504 loans? How can we help you here? That's kind of vanished. And now it's really trying to figure out the pains that our clients are going through. Not my coaching clients, but their clients. So we had to ask 3 essential questions. We can talk about those questions, but really over communicating with the clients right now.
Right. No, that's fantastic. And I agree with you. I think you've got to be in touch with people. I'm a big believer right now. I mean, yes, a lot of these conversations are awkward to be calling clients, and some of them are even difficult, but I think it'd be really awkward to be calling a client 60, 90, 180 days from now, whenever we're past this, pick up a phone, call them. Well, that was weird. I mean, how do you make out? I think you're done. I mean, that's not, I don't want to hear from you.
No.
Where were you when I needed you?
No. And, you and I know this, brokers when you don't know this, but in 2008, we lost almost half our brokers during the recession because they couldn't sustain where we were, right? In just these quick 45 days, we've lost thousands, if not tens of thousands of brokers. And they don't know it yet, but they're gone. They just are. Yeah. So what we're asking our clients to do, and look, you know this, because I see you doing it, a lot more conversations. There are no more rules to conversations, by the way. And what I mean by that is a lot of our clients are calling people on Sundays. Because
Right.
you know what?
Okay.
Sunday, is it Sunday? I thought it was Monday. I don't know, what day is it? We're seeing that all over the place. Can't go to church, can't go
Right.
play golf, right? So they're having calls on Sundays. They're having calls on evenings. There's no gatekeepers. They're talking to decision owners all the time. And they never could do that before. You
Yeah.
know, that filter's gone. So people are having real conversations. And for the first time ever, I'm having clients complain, we're having too long conversations.
They're long. They are. You're right. They are long because people, they want information. Like you said, some of them, frankly, they're bored. They're sitting at home. They want to sit there and talk, and they haven't been able to talk to anybody about their business. So you're right. The three
Right.
questions.
So,
I've heard you discuss these. I'm using them. I'd love to hear them in your words.
So the three questions we're asking now, a little different, is first of all, we'd like to always find out what's going right? What's doing well, what's working. That you got to start off a conversation in a positive framework. Not all tenants stop paying rent, right? Not all investors have gone away, and not all banks have shut down. You know, that's not the case. So what's going well? For some people, they have their health, right? That's great. They made their mortgage payment. Fantastic.
And that's a big one. And that's where I'm starting with, folks. I mean, if you're healthy, your family's healthy, that's big. That's
huge.
Great. That's good.
Don't take that for granted, right?
No.
So, and someone told me the other day, 6 feet apart is better than 6 feet under, and they're absolutely correct. It is.
Yeah.
So what's well? Let's focus on that. Let's hear it. Let's just digest it. Let's consume it. And then you're going to ask them the question, depending on your relationship, of course, is, okay, what isn't working, which is an easy question, but what really, if you really know them well, and you should be calling people you know well, inactive clients, you know, share me what either is really keeping you up right now, or what's your greatest challenge, your greatest concern, because they're more apt to tell you today than ever before. They just are. Right. So find out what that is, because that's the crux of how you can help them. That's where you can really be the advisor in some worlds, a solution provider, whatever, the partner versus a vendor, a commodity broker. Yeah. And then once you get those questions and you ask the all questions and what else, and you have that conversation, just ask them quickly, okay, so now where do we, and I would say we, not you, because I think you should be a partner in this. Yeah. Where do we grow from here? Where do we grow from here? Where do we go from here? What's next? What can we do next? You know, let's figure out where we want to go, either in your portfolio or your business. Focus on the business, not the tenants, right? On the business. These are real conversations, but these are simple questions, Barry, because I know you're using them. I know our folks using them, and be amazed when you provide value, right? Will you get a transaction? Maybe, but that's not what it's about. It's just not.
No, right now it's building those relationships. I've got clustered on my board at my office. What's new? What's next? How can I help? Which are kind of your previous versions of the three questions.
That was pre-COVID.
Exactly.
Right, and then hopefully that will come back.
Yeah, and there's still, I mean, your question is still along those lines, and it's like you said, it's about consultative and being there when people need you, and that's when you're building these relationships and being there for folks, certainly. So Rod, I appreciate it. Out of curiosity, I mean, I know you're a very positive guy, upbeat, and I like that approach. What's anything particular yourself personally, whether it's for you, your family, your business, anything you've taken from this, anything positive or you've learned and going to carry with you the rest of your life or going forward, certainly?
Well, yeah. Is there a silver lining in anything? You know, it's hard to have a silver lining when we're seeing, the death that's associated with this pandemic. So a silver lining would be, I think, the wrong term to use. Right. But there are absolutely, and everyone has to understand this in commercial real estate. There are so many opportunities that will come of this for two reasons. Number one, whether you like it or not, a portion of your competition is gone and they're not coming back. So congratulations, your market's just got a little less competitive. Yeah. Number two is transactions are coming back. They really are. Velocity is going to come back, and that's where you all make your living. So there are so many opportunities. We found opportunities for ourselves here, for the Massimo group and the coaching and new programs we're doing. But you all have to figure out, there is not a silver lining, but there is something to come out of this and a lesson to be learned. And so, just follow you, Barry. Your audience should follow you and see what you're doing, right? That they learn from you. They should. I can't go anywhere without seeing your name. And so guess what? And I know I'm going to take this a little 30 seconds longer than you probably want to, and this will really upset some of my existing clients. But I've had private conversations with Barry saying, when I finally pull the trigger on a triple net deal, I'm going to call Barry because at least I think I know what the hell he's talking about.
No, I mean, that's all great advice. And I'm kind of keep reminding myself there's not the old adage, that's the wrong word, but as a shark, I mean, if a shark stops swimming, they die. And like you said, I mean, at the beginning, if you're in that paralysis mode, you've got to get yourself out of that, regardless. I mean, you just got to, pick back, jump in the pool, start swimming. And frankly, Monday, I was kind of down on myself, down on everything, just being up front. I got on the phone, started talking to people by lunchtime. You're past it. You move on, and just keep going about everything.
You gotta have the confidence, and sometimes that's tough. I get it. You gotta have the courage. Sometimes that's tougher. I understand, but if you don't have the commitment, it's not going to work. You gotta be committed to commercial real estate and to your craft, like you are, Barry, and that's why you're a leader.
I appreciate it. Well, thanks so much for your time. Anybody out there, if you're in the brokers field, frankly, anybody in business, if you're looking for coaching, I can't recommend Massimo Group enough or too much. Rod, how can, if they're in this really tough time, if they feel like they do need a coach, and frankly, we all do, how can folks reach you the best?
Well, I appreciate that, Barry. We actually opened a new division of the Massimo Group that does now coach people outside of commercial real estate. Okay. But regardless of who you are, just go to Massimo, Massimo. That's Massimo.coach. Massimo.coach. You learn about us, and we'd love to talk to you. Thank you, Barry.
Thanks for your time, Rod. Be well.